Hey polish fiends, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am super excited to share with you a complete walkthrough on how I created my birthday nails. Today is my 30th birthday, so I wanted to go all out glam, bling, extra AF with my nails today. So it's my birthday party tomorrow, so I really wanted those babies to shine. So if you guys are interested in everything I did from start to finish, then just keep on watching. So moving right on with the tutorial, guys, this will be a long one, so grab a cup of coffee and get sitting down and let's get into it. So for the purposes of my nails today, I am going to be using my clear tips. I picked these ones up from eBay. They were a little bit more expensive than ones I usually go for, but they are so worth it. They are amazing quality and I would highly recommend them. If I could find the exact seller, I will leave it linked below, but it was ages ago I got them and I cannot remember specifically where I picked them up. So since these are a little bit long and I wanted coffin shape, I'm going to go ahead and trim them to my preferred size. And doing that, I'm just going to use a pair of scissors and go ahead and snip off the tip just above the number. So once I've taken off the tip, I turn the nail tip to face me so I can see properly what I'm doing, and I go ahead and trim the sides, and this is going to give me basically a little bit of a guide to show me where to put my file. You do not want to put your file square, so you do not want it as in facing right up and down. You want it to an almost slant and only focusing on the sides that you've just cut in, if that makes any sense. You do not want to take any of the curve off of the top where it meets the cuticle, because then it will look too square. So as I'm still practicing, mine aren't totally perfect yet either, but I would say just keep practicing and you will pick it up as well. I take ages to do this point because I really need to focus on making sure I've got that right slant and everything is even, and basically all the nails sort of look the same, that they were meant to be on the same hand. I'm not saying I'm perfect, guys, because I really amn't, but just keep trying and you will get it too. So as you can see here, all I'm doing is using the same nail file to remove any of the little bits of plastic that got stuck from the filing underneath the nail, and then I'm going to brush off any excess. So guys, now that we have the tips already, it's time to move on to blinging these babies out, and as you know, this is my favourite part of anything to do with nail art. So to begin, this is the products I'm going to be using, and this nail is inspired by the works of Nail Unistella on Instagram. So I was browsing on Instagram the other day, guys, and I saw this nail by Nail Unistella and I absolutely fell in love with it. I will leave her channel and everything linked below. So for this nail, I'm going to be using lots of Japanese frames and bling and some Swarovski crystals, mostly the Exotic East and Candyland packs. So here is all of the little decorative pieces that I used on my nail. I've got lots of little irregular shaped frames in square and circle textured. So to begin this look, all you want to do is go ahead and apply a clear coat of builder gel all the way throughout that nail. You really want to make sure it's nice and even and has no bubbles, because we're not going to be putting any colour on it whatsoever. So you're really going to see any irregularities in that gel. So I just put this all over the gel and left it wet, and while it was still wet, I'm going to go ahead and start to decorate the nail. So using my crystal katana, I'm going to go ahead and take the circle ones with the textured lines going around it, and I'm going to put them all down the nail, and then at the very bottom I'm going to put sort of like a little oval one, and then I'm going to completely fill the nail with lots of different gold pieces and frames until it's completely full. And at this point, I also like to make sure I have quite a thick layer of builder gel, but not too thick that it isn't going to dry, if that makes any sense. Because what I like to do is push the little gold pieces down into the gel so they have like a surrounding of gel. And that way I don't have to keep adding lots of gel on top of my pieces, so I lose sort of the regular textured feel that I have on those little frame pieces. I don't know, it's kind of weird, you could do it your way, but I just found that that was a little bit easier for me, and it made the nail look a lot better and more even once it was finished. So once I got finished adding all of the frames, I went ahead and took various colours of Swarovski crystals, from fuchsia to little pearl pieces to opal Swarovski crystals as well. And all I'm doing is adding little Swarovski crystals into those little frames, and also some opal Swarovski crystals around the perimeters of the frames as well. And then all I did for the nail was go ahead and take some of those tiny little pieces of the Japanese studs, and they are so minute, but they filled those little parts of the nail just super nice, and I really feel like it added extra dimension and it didn't look as barren. So I went ahead and just completely went to town with all different sizes of gold pieces to fill the nail completely. And then once I was finished decorating the nail, I went ahead and popped that into an LED light for about 50 seconds to make sure everything was dry and secure. And then I took my builder gel and just slightly went around all of those little pieces to make sure they were secured to the nail. So once that came out of the LED light, I went ahead and started painting the rest of the nails. Now all I'm going to be painting is the thumb, the pointer and the middle finger. So I'm going to paint the thumb and the pointer with black gel polish, and then I'm going to paint the middle finger with a really beautiful pale pink polish. These polishes that I'm using today are Semilac Black Diamond, which is my favourite black gel polish. You will see me use that to death on this channel. And then I'm also going to be using Candycoat number 010. I did 3 coats of the Candycoat polish and 2 coats of the black gel polish and allowed them to dry in between each layer. So now we move on to the pinky, guys, and this is going to be a clear nail with gold foil, and the gold foil I'm using today is 24 karat pure gold foil that I picked up from eBay. And what I'm going to be doing is adding a coat of top coat and then brushing off the sticky layer once that comes out of the light with my gel brush, so it's still sticky but not got that wet feeling, it's more tacky. I then removed the foil from the packaging, and as you can see, they come in a little individual folders, so you really aren't wasting any. So I just used my thumb and pressed a few layers of that to the sort of tacky layer. And then at this point, because I wanted the foil to be really tiny, I took my gel brush and I broke up that foil, which happened to be really easy, and I just spread that throughout the nail that way. And as you can see, I just added more if I needed some, but I really only needed that 3 little dabs of the foil to completely cover the nail. And then using my finger, I'm going to tap it down to make sure everything's secure and add a coat of top coat. And the top coat I am using today is by Artistic Gloss, and I will leave that link below as well. So as you can see, guys, I am completely avoiding that little bling nail, and that's so I don't dull down any of those Swarovski crystals. But as I mentioned previously, I did go over some of those little gold pieces with more builder gel just to make sure those were secured to the nail and I didn't lose any while I was bopping and grinding. So moving on to the nail art bits of the nail, we are first starting with the marble and gold leaf nail, and to begin that, all I'm doing is putting some white gel polish, also by Semilac, onto the nail, and then using some gel cleanser to gently sort of buff off that gel and to give the effect of smoke. And then I go in with my finger just again to dull down any of the areas, and I find working with my finger I get a really great effect. And I just keep adding white and then using my finger to dull it down, and I keep doing that until I'm happy with the base. And then once I am happy with the base, I take a striper brush and I go ahead and add some more crystal lines to just sort of give the effect of the marble. So I want these lines to be more sort of prominent than the rest of the nail. And then again, that goes into an LED light for a full cure. And then using the tacky layer, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing I did with the pinky and just sparingly add some foil and use my brush to disperse it. And once again, at this point, I went ahead and added a top coat to seal in that design. So guys, we are now moving on to my favourite nail in this whole entire look, and that is the middle finger. So for this, I first started by applying a coat of Candycoat No Wipe top coat to that nail, putting it in the LED light for a full cure, and then using this really pretty pigment that I got from Born Pretty store. It really just reminds me of unicorn skin. It is absolutely beautiful over this pale pink. So I'm going to just burnish this into the whole nail using this little eyeshadow applicator thing. And then once I was happy with the application, I went ahead and buffed it in with my finger because I find the particles sort of rub and burnish better. So for the purposes of decorating the nail, I first started by using this Moyra lovelace plate that I picked up from Nail-Artisan years ago. I've had this for so long, it's one of my favourite stamping plates. I'm also going to be using the Tiffany stamper by Nail-Artisan and Mundo black. And I'm going to be using this sort of ladder design at the top of this plate here, and I'm going to stamp that directly onto the nail using my Tiffany stamper. So as you could see, the image was just a little bit too short for this nail. So what I decided to do was go ahead and take the same black polish that I used on the other nails and go ahead and do a border that is slightly thicker than I usually do all around that nail to completely cover where the image didn't fit. And then once I was happy with that, I just went ahead and added a coat of the same top coat as before to seal in that design. And I'm then going to pop that into an LED light for a full cure and then wipe away the inhibition layer with my nail surface cleanser and a lint-free wipe. So to decorate this nail, I'm going to first be using this really beautiful rose gold and Swarovski crystal cluster made by the amazingly talented Glamsusie, and I will leave her Etsy page links below. If you haven't checked it out, guys, you really should. She does amazing work. It is slightly more expensive than AliExpress, but the quality is impeccable. And finally, to attach that to the nail, as you can see, I'm using Nail's clear acrylic powder and their monomer. So all I did to attach this to the nail was go ahead and put a little bead of acrylic at the top of the nail beside the cuticle, and then I went ahead and sat the cluster on top, allowed that to sit for a few seconds, and then I am taking little beads of clear acrylic and just slowly going around the nail just to make sure it's secure and I don't lose it. And then what I did was allow that acrylic to settle and allow the cluster to harden before moving on to blinging the rest of the nail. So to secure the crystals to the nail, I first applied a coat of builder gel, and then I will be using the Candyland mix by Blue Street Crystals, which is really beautiful silver pearls, light pink Swarovski crystals and white opals, and I took one of each and put them in sort of like a little triangle design and did that all the way down the nail. And then once again, I went ahead and went around the perimeter of those Swarovski crystals with more builder gel before popping that into an LED light for a full cure and then removing the inhibition layer with my nail surface cleanser and a lint-free wipe. So finally, guys, once everything was dry, this is what my design looked like once it was complete, and I must admit, I know it is extra as hell, but I am so in love. I wanted to do something different this time, and so I decided to do a little bit of everything I love: bling, marble, all that good stuff. So lovelies, if you have stayed to the end of this video, I totally appreciate it, and you guys are absolute troopers. Say the word spaceship in this comment section below so I know that you did. And as always, I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I would totally appreciate it. And as always, if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Kylie. I am a complete nail polish addict, and on this channel you will find everything from nail art to swatches, reviews and the occasional original haul. So if that's something you guys are interested in, I upload every Monday and Friday. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one, which will be my birthday haul. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it too. Thank you for watching. Bye.